It, to be fair, it was a different chart. That's flu. That's not flu. It's literally the last candle
Mhm,
is tagged my entry, so it's quite easy to figure out.
mhm.
5 to 10.
Yeah,
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 that is literally that last bit fucking tagged in.
yeah. Is that?
Was it March?
I
So that looks
mean,
different.
it looks like it's in the right sort of area for a sell, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it
So
is. Yeah,
we what's that?
there is some spread candles in there.
Yeah, I just obviously I think that's market open, and then there's a spread there possibly as well. So obviously, just the last couple of the last structure at least is that in it.
Yeah,
So, I'm just going to zoom out. I just want to see where we are high time frame as well. Yeah, I mean we're in possibly a kind of hitting an area where we might be seeing good sells as well. Looking at that, that's a possibility. Just to sort of as a target, if obviously it might come back in. That low there gets taken. Uh, I know I'll get to your setup as well, mate, but I want to
I know.
kind of do the whole thing from
Mm.
because obviously sells are definitely the bigger move at some point, whether that's from where we are now. But obviously we're on the weekly, so I would say,
To be fair, I've got a missing swing in that 4 hour. I was hoping for it to go touch high.
Mhm.
Do you know where you've got um, the top of your where you've started your fucking 4 hour?
Yeah, yeah, that makes
That's where I was kind of
yeah,
I'm not aiming for, but that's where I
yeah,
thought it might turn. So I've got a couple of buys in there, possible.
yeah. I'll take a look at that because I might have been trying to sell that well nearly 2 years ago now, I guess. But yeah, it's I mean that's that obviously that's what I've got drawn as my 4 hour from
Hmm.
previously. Um, obviously there's a it just 4 hour trends down from there. I'll say it's 4 hour because we're on weekly, so I'm assuming that's what that sort of structure is. Now, obviously, if it's going to continue with this structure, so obviously that's a lot of price action that's long, but like I say, overall, the time frame above is still bearish. So obviously, I've drawn that technically that anywhere in that zone could be where it's at now. Obviously, you'd need to break the zone down and see if there's order blocks in here that you like the look of and liquidity and blah blah, blah whatever, you know. um, so yeah, obviously sells are coming up at least. Obviously, you're trying to catch the buy. I'm just going to draw the weekly struct, what I would class as my weekly, mate, just so everybody can sort of kind of try and make sense of it, newbies and everything. Uh, so just bear with me a sec. Dan said, "Can I look over USD CAD?" Yes, I will do, mate, after this one. You could have wrote that in this chat, mate, if you wanted as well. So weekly time frame structure. I mean, this is pretty simple. We're going to go from up there. Obviously, I haven't got it on my screen. That takes the low there. And then just pull back there to the magnet off. So call it daily, I guess then. So that's the high time frame sort of stuff going on. Obviously, there's more swings. There's pointless adding it because I'm not that. It's a long time to get back there, so I'm not concerned with it. This obviously this is the most recent sort of structures I can sort of see, and then obviously from there we had the obviously inside that's the 4 hour, so weekly, daily, bearish, possibly in a point where it's going to retrace as well, though, which is why I would definitely wait for good confirmations if it reaches up this high in this box. Because obviously from there, because we've taken the weekly low, we could see some 4 hour swings. So we could start getting things like that going on. Maybe obviously if the weekly is going to stay bearish, it could react way lower, but somewhere up here is obviously as long as it doesn't take that high, it can react anywhere out of there and then still remain bearish. Not that I think it'll get that high, but at the minute we are with this, so I'll turn that up. So obviously, if price does stay doing its 4 hour bearish at the minute, we would expect that still. Obviously, we've had the 15-minute breaks and things in all this sort of stuff here. So currently 15-minute bullish, 4 hour bearish, weekly bearish, and then obviously we'll come in closer. See a chat. So cheers, anyways. So got stuff going on in all of this. Just shy of the POI at the minute. So we've got a couple of like decent looking order blocks on the 2 hour. Obviously, when I say decent POI, I just mean obviously there's imbalance being left after order blocks. Obviously, it could react from anywhere in that. We have get the magnet back on. I think that's spread out actually, just seeing. Yeah, that one's spread out, so that don't count. Maybe spread out as well, so that is the worst trend line in the world. Uh, so what I was trying to do is I was trying to maybe if this was a valid trend line, if that was about obviously it looks tidy there, obviously it's spread out. I've also got another trend line from it as well. What I was trying to highlight is if that was a valid trend line, that then where prices hit now, I think it's hit somewhere near that, is price might have hit the order, well, close to the order block. Well, I mean, if it's going to hit that as like I say, trying to take the buy from there is a really good option because we'd anticipate it's going to at least maybe touch that order block. So obviously it's just using liquidity to try and identify where price might turn around or target. But yeah, not a valid trend line, so it don't really matter. I'm just gonna drop on the 15, 11. So no, that point's okay because that's after spread hour, 11:45. So I think it's just this wick here. So not quite touch short. Not to worry. Can't see up the 15. I'm not going to bother anyway. We know what doing anyway, lads, especially for the lads that are regular. Just see who's done. Stuart. Don't know who iPhone is. So, anyway, could we actually also out of here? Obviously, there's stuff possibly above anyway. I'm not going to go and mark out the possible sell zone anyway, because we would wait. I'd recommend waiting for the 15-minute to break to downside anyway. So obviously we'll get to your finish me coffee. So obviously we'll get to your buy, Luke. So
Mhm.
obviously we've got a 15-minute low. We know it's a low because obviously leading up, we're trending upwards. We still are. Andrew iPhone. Yeah, oh, that's fine, mate. Yeah, it's all good, mate. Obviously, yeah, so we're trending upwards. We know that this is the most recent low because obviously it's the lowest price that pulled back before it then retook the high. So it takes a high here. That confirms this is a low after this high was put in. So you're trying to buy it from obviously the bottom 25% ish, pretty much. Draw
This
the
one's just based off that, yeah.
yeah,
Just nicks it, I think.
yeah.
Just-
So yeah, it's bottom 25%, which is perfect. Now, obviously, for the lads that are new or whatever, it doesn't have to be 20%. It can be less, it can be more, whichever way you want to look at it. But it's ideal because obviously it's a better trade and it's a less riskier trade. If you're selling, if you're buying, sorry, from the bottom 25% of the current leg, and obviously sells from the top 25% if the market's bearish, obviously. So it's pulled back. Let me just draw a random POI because it doesn't really matter where I draw it. It's a market from the low, and you would tend to just take it to an imbalance. Obviously, this one taps in at spread hour. That one's invalid. That's market open. Wouldn't trust that. That one hasn't quite reached it, but that doesn't mean that my POI is right. It just means I've roughly marked it and it could well be that. Obviously, there's a proper imbalance there. Now, I'd always recommend marking your lower time frame imbalances in all this, just to make sure you're happy that this has tapped into it and it counts. So from there, I'm assuming, Luke, you've gone that this here was your 1 minute high.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, good man. Um, so obviously leading into the markups for you guys, I always try and draw everything. So obviously it's pulled back from up, it's pulled down from up here, put a low in, it's pulled back, made a low into the point of interest, and then that point there, it's broken to the upside. So I'm imagining Luke had an alert at least on that, and his alarm went off Friday night, yeah, late Friday evening.
Mhm.
And then obviously as soon as his alert's gone off at 7-ish, he's then decided he wanted to try and buy from somewhere down here. Got obviously from there, I'm assuming you just picked couple of imbalances, mate.
Picked a few, worked myself down the 5 second, 1 second.
Yeah.
I had one left.
Just gonna randomly mark some for now, mate.
Yeah.
Mark. Now, this one here obviously shows no imbalance, but there's a decent down push, decent up push. I'll just check that on the five. I'm gonna draw this. I'm gonna highlight this thing here. So bearing in mind we're on the 10 second, there's a big put down push, big up push. So just gonna mark it for the sake of I want to see what's on that on say the five and maybe the one. And then I don't other than the very low, which we all know I'm not that keen on, so but I'll mark it anyway. So I'm just gonna check them on the five. Yeah. So that would be somewhere like that. So obviously decent multiple shear. Obviously, as I'm checking these as well, guys, I'm checking with obviously the vertical line down. It tells you the time when the candles was made. Obviously, as I mean, I don't know if I say it, but I'm just checking that they don't coincide with like major news releases and things. So the reason for that being is I like them to be created authentically. So if they're created at, I mean, that was created at 5 to 11 and a random 5 or 10 seconds. My theory is if they're created authentically, then there's a chance that it's not manipulation from say your broker or prop firm or whatever, and they're more than likely going to do the manipulation at the release of newsies. So I'm not keen on this lower one anyway because there's nothing there that takes me interest now. I'll turn it blue. Still interested in this, like I say, on the 5 second, we get a big push down, big push up. We, well, I mean, it's only a pip-ish, but still of interest. Like I say, it does it in 10 seconds, so there's something going on there. These two are okay-ish. That's taken me interest a little bit as well. I don't think I spotted that on the 10. Yeah, it's like another skin taggy thing. So that up there looks similar to this one here. Um, I'm just going to check on the one. Now, I don't always do the 1 second. Not always keen on it, but doesn't look that fantastic. If I had to put my money on one, it would probably be this one here. So I'll turn the rest blue. I have no idea which one it went from, so it's probably going to be wrong. I think that one would be me money. Let's see how close I was or wasn't. Obviously, that one would be null and void because that would be null and void because obviously it's taken out before the 1 minute is broken. So just ignore that one. There you go. Taps it perfectly on market close.
That's why I didn't set it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you'd if it market opens well to the upside, you're fine. Well, you would have been fine. I wouldn't recommend it anyway, mate. Obviously, it's too.
No, well, obviously, when I got the 1 minute break, it was getting on, and then I saw it coming down, and I was like,
Yeah.
"We're going to mark it
So,
up."
like, fuck off, go up a bit.
I know I wanted it to keep going just a bit, but because it was coming down so quick, I
Yeah,
was like, I can't
yeah,
risk it.
yeah.
And
No, no.
luckily, that would have ruined me. It would have gone straight through. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
I mean,
um,
I don't even know what spreads would have been in then either. To be fair, mate, I'd imagine the last 5 minutes it changes slightly. I can't remember. So,
Could have been scary, and if it closed way down, you're in
yeah,
several R loss
yeah, yeah,
straight away.
yeah.
I only had that one. Can we go back to the two lower ones that you
Yes, mate.
had?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why you like thought they may be an option.
But obviously, from the point in which I Barry played it, obviously I always start off with highlighting a few because
Hmm.
I like to discount them rather than add them later, if that makes sense. Now
Yeah.
that's just a process that I go through personally. So I'll highlight a few, and then obviously I said that that was my favorite. I mean, I had no idea that that was the one it tapped into.
Hmm.
I was blind almost, you know. So I always try and the way I've just done that is how I try and approach every trade, whether this was live or not, So, but obviously in here, now I highlight this one I was unsure of from the get-go because on the 10 second, it's just a big down candle, big up candle. Now,
Mm.
if there was a little candle in between, then you'd be looking at it going, yeah, that's my entry.
Yeah.
And obviously, 'cause it looked like this if there was a candle in. Obviously, there's two candles in between it, but there's no imbalance on show. But there's a big up push here. So on the 5, this might have shown imbalance. The imbalance might have started here, so it would have been a good option. Um, which obviously is here. So that's a good possibility there. There's a big down push, big up push.
Mm. I think I actually might have missed that because I might have chose that one too.
Just let me add, just let me just fucking tell the dog to fuck off. Now, there is a case, maybe, just let me play some more out. It's going to come lower first, isn't it? There. So, there is a case for argument that this low or this order block and imbalance here causes this high to be taken.
Mm.
It's not as, but it's not a significant high unless you start getting in the real micro structure. So, if you get into the real micro stuff, obviously, I don't recommend it. Kind of start getting this, so we get a 5 second break, let's call it. We're being a bit pedantic here, and then obviously there's that. So, you know, but we're talking real lower time frame structure. So, but there is a case that that one's the cause of this micro bullish high being taken. So, I'll fucking kill my dog in a minute. And then obviously this shows as nothing on the 5 still, and then we get to the 1. Now, obviously, this all there's still a bit of imbalance there. Is it the best looking? Not really, but it's very valid. I just preferred obviously the one to the right, that one there, and then
I
this.
actually, to be fair, might have split risk on that if it was
Yeah,
a thing because
I don't.
I don't think I noticed that one to be honest
Yeah,
because that's not bad. The other one is better,
yeah,
but that's
yeah.
actually
So
I
yeah,
probably would have.
there's that one, and then now this one's. Yeah, I mean, it could still be this could still be a good one as well because obviously, although the imbalance and the overall big candle on the 5 and the 10 has disappeared. Like I say on the 5, that's a decent looking candle, but on the 1 it just looks a lot worse. Now that might be down to experience, but obviously it goes from this level here and then jumps up to here in as soon as that candle closes, you know. Let me just I'll measure that because I mean it's only 2 pipettes, it's not that great. This candle's like I say still decent. This would have probably been my next option. Fucking hell. Sorry, it's just Dan keeps joining and leaving. We've got two Dans in now. That's what dreams are made of. Um, so yeah, this. I think this would have been my next option anyway. Like I say, because it is still imbalance there. It's just not as good look. It just wasn't as good looking as this other one.
No.
You know, take that as whatever you wanted. You might decide that you might decide that this is still a valid zone. It might still be a valid, and the buy might come from this zone, and the closing price action might not have been real.
Well, the thing is, to be fair, because it's done what it's done, we don't have a clue if that's just going to shoot
No,
straight through.
yeah,
Like it's one of them, isn't it?
yeah. So obviously we know that. Obviously we say that spread hour is not real, but at market close, it's kind of guesswork. I don't know.
I won't be re-entering.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm just going to leave it.
yeah, Yeah. I mean, what I was going to do anyway, mate, is I'm going to obviously we've gone over like the overall sort of like workings of the trade, but obviously what I am going to do is just draw a level line from there and make sure that what this has tapped into is I would have been happy with anyway,
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
obviously, obviously it's gone through that spread hour, so that one's not. We know that's well market open. We know that's not real. That one's spread hour, so we know that one's not real. So we're looking at it, what it's tapped in this anyway, because we might go. Obviously, we might just decide that there's a real good looking imbalance in this sort of area or something, and this is just to the right is actually just a trap to do you over kind of thing. So um, we'll just check all this anyway, mate, and just make sure that we would have been happy to have taken the buy from there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hit an area where I would say we're about okay with. Yeah, I think I'd have been relatively happy with that. It's bang on where this imbalance, well, it's filled the imbalance to the dot, disappears on the second, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Yeah, so within,
Big gap.
yeah, well, I mean that might indicate I can see there's points here. I don't know if you guys can see them
Yeah.
dashes.
There's plenty lower though.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out in a second. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just thought if these gaps wasn't here, and then it changed from that candle and then appeared up here, then I would say that that's definitely I'd class the gap as imbalance almost. I don't always check zoom in this much and spot these. To be fair, this is yeah. I feel like every second it's done a pipette. I think that's maybe two there. So that leads me to believe that maybe that's not imbalance, but this candle would be, you know, and it's come there, come lower to fill in whatever it's doing before it maybe.
Is it just missing the body?
It is on the 10 second, but on the 5, it was bang on where I'd be
Mm.
happy with. So on the 5, obviously, we get this candle before that's I think it opens and closes in the same place. Then, so from this candle here, it changes from there, moves up slightly because it opens at this point, bottom of the candle. I mean, it might go up, come down, or whatever, but obviously it pulls back at some points below and then pushes up from there. So on the 5 second, it's filled the imbalance perfectly. But we know that obviously that what might appear on the 5 might not be on the 1 kind of thing as well. It's just it's low enough for us to go if it was an entry, and you were wanting to pick somewhere like that would be good enough kind of thing. Um, so yeah, on the 5 it's filled it bang on. It's just on the 1 it don't look great. But like I mean like I say I'm not a big fan of the 1 second anyway, so I think it can be a bit grainy and shitty. But obviously when we come lower we've got something going on in this sort of area, so we have a collection of candles where nothing happens kind of thing. Then we get biggish down candles, big up candles. So maybe we would want to come a touch lower anyway. Obviously, the idea is that we just by what we're doing now is we can maybe just go actually, although it's done what it wanted to the right and possibly tagged an entry, possibly not. We can still look at it and go, actually, I think it maybe will want to come down for something. And it's obviously just going to come for an imbalance and an order block and then obviously we could maybe add liquidity to it to maybe decide what we're really happy with.
Still the one thing I always forget to do.
Yeah,
I do it now and then, don't get
yeah,
me wrong, but I get too excited and I skip the step of
yeah,
what's it actually tagged in my POI.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I know that is definitely a downfall of mine.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say there's particularly anything major lower that I would be going. Yeah, it's definitely going lower. So, but that's a good sign that if you was taking that one from up here, then that it's possibly okay, possibly the right move. Um, obviously the only other thing we could check for is like liquidity, because obviously liquidity
The 8 a.m. is quite strong.
that one here, yeah,
Yeah, I'm a 5 second, but it's exactly on market open.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's quite nice that, but might have been about filled. So this might be weird, like because obviously George is something else at finding his entries. Now he would say that's if I mean it was on the 5 second, but obviously he does his he likes the 1 minute unmitigated to start from kind of thing. Now obviously it's filled the a gap perfectly, which might mean that that would void it for him as a possibility. Obviously we'd have to ask him, but yeah, I mean that's could be where it's coming from. It could be coming to fill this one as well. That is an okay looking area, and I would mark it anyway. Probably mark it at that candle low. So it looks about the same on the 5, doesn't it, as the 1? Yeah, could come for there. It's worth marking anyway. Mark. But nothing like it's nothing major stands out to me that makes me think, yeah, it's
No,
definitely going from there, you know.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
So yeah, on based on that, I would say yeah, that was a good area to trade from. Just maybe really inconvenient at the time that it hit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I've just started putting money in, and honestly, I've had two trades where I can't take them. Granted, one of them lost, so I was lucky.
Yeah. But yeah, everything else is good, mate.
Yeah.
It was just one of them that's unfortunate.
I'm just
Possibly.
trying to take it nice and steady at the minute.
Yeah,
One. I mean, I've been averaging one trade a week,
yeah,
like possible two, but even that, I'm being too picky, and I'll just take the best one. I think.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I've got to sort my life out there.
yeah. Sick of being poor.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Big time.
Yeah. Well, I like to say it makes sense, mate. The buyers are still on. The um just obviously be mindful that I think we are possibly coming to areas for sells as well.
Yeah.
So
So
if we
you're expecting a turnaround soon?
yes, yeah. I mean, obviously that depends on the confirmations we get, mate. So
Yeah.
I suppose the best way I could word it is I'm anticipating it to continue up until it shows us it's not is the best phrase I can kind of use for it, I guess. Just going to trend line there.
Do I need to go on mute, by the way, because my dog's snoring? I won't show you now.
Nah, okay, right, mate.
Sorry.
can't hear it.
I can.
Candle's low at the wrong angle. So I thought I'd spotted a possible trend line, but I was way off. Yeah, I'm not seeing out. Now we're on the 4 hour anyway, so anything's possible, I guess. No. Yeah, anyway, just yeah, big sells from up here possibly. I mean, I don't know what that is unmarked anyway. It's wrong anyway, in it? Whatever it is. Must have been drunk that day. Um, yeah, that's that anyway. So,
I appreciate you going through it, mate.
I'm gonna jump onto USDCAD for Dan. Been sat there patiently, bless him. Yeah, buy it, mate. Buy it is my. Is my sentiment at the minute, I think. Let me just. Right, so God, that's a fucking mess in it. Not the chart, my drawings. So what I'm thinking is buys. So obviously you can see I've got me 4 hour structure drawn. We have this structure 4 hour high here. Gets taken possibly by this POI, leading down to the POI. So after it's broke the 4 hour to the upside, again, obviously price has come back. We are creating obviously highs and lows. So low, lower high, lower low, but we're getting downward shift on that. That's quite, I mean, we're on the 4 hours, so this would be 15 here, taken there. So this last one on the way down to the 4 hour point of interest, the red one, we get that puts in the high, that gets taken, pull back, low put in, high retaken. So that's the 15. So we've hit the 4 hour. It looks like we've about filled some good looking imbalance because I've got that marked. Maybe it needs to come a touch lower still, but it's done the 15-minute break to the upside. Um, After it's broken the 15, we've come back and it looks like we have broken at least the 1 minute up here. Now we're on the 4 hour, so that 1 minute might be different when we get in. Does
It's
that?
a lot lower.
Yeah, I mean there might be something in all this that we can't see on the 4 hour, which is, but obviously I've stuck on the 4 so I could show you the couple of time frames. Yeah. So this break above here told us possibly that we are continuing with the next 4 hour leg. Obviously, because this is, although the 4 hours bullish, it's pulling back. So the 15 confirms that the 4 hour low is possibly put in on this occasion. After it's done that, it's come back zigzagging down. Obviously, it's making lower highs, lower lows, whatever. And depending on where, I mean, it's hard to ignore that that one's the one that we might be wanting to break anyway. So looking at it, that's the 1 minute low. Magneted on there. Obviously equal highs, which I think it's taken already. Yes, it has. So that's worth talking about. Obviously, it left equal highs and it used the liquidity as the reason to break the high that we would want as the confirmation. Um, so the issue, the hardest issue we've got now is that there's a lot of price action in all this to look through. From that point there, price could come back and tap into a 5 or 10 second imbalance and tap into an order block anywhere in all of this price action. So there's a lot of price action to sift through. Um, yeah, lot to sift through. But what I believe, sorry, I'm like a fucking magpie. See something that catches my eye and stop talking.
I've got that marked as a POI there, but then
Yeah,
I'm slightly lower time frame than you.
yeah. I mean, you would kind of hope it's coming lower at least. Now we've got stick on. Mhm. No, that's off. It's not right. Obviously, again, we can try and find liquidity to try and maybe show us where it's wanting to go from. And this is obviously the issue with there being so much price action to sort of get through to maybe get an entry. But like I say, if we can use liquidity to maybe try and reduce that down by quite a bit, we will do. Fuck off. Right. Yeah, I'm not going to sit and sift through all that as an entry tonight anyway, because we're nearly there. But I mean, you get the idea anyway. I think it's going to pull back into something in all of this. It could come, obviously, it could come down to this low. I will just check that this is tapped into something I'm happy with as well in a second. Um, but yeah, my prediction is so if that's the 1 minute high, low, high. Obviously, if it's, I'm just gonna say it taps into that for now. Then that's me, kind of what I'm anticipating. Whether it comes from there or whatever, I don't know, obviously, but it does look like we have maybe turned around as well. Because if we come in closer, we do look like we've maybe done a lower time frame break to the downside as well. Um, yeah, so that's maybe the signal that we're going to start coming back for this. This obviously this orange structure, it should be green. Turn it green. So if that's the 1 minute, we've had a lower time frame shift to possible to the downside to show that we're going to start this pullback, hopefully into an entry. What that is obviously up to you guys to spend a bit of time and figure out. I'm thinking one of these areas is possibly the best. Now, obviously, that one's played out already, so ignore that one. That one's dead. Fucking hell, Dan's joined again. Is
I'm back again.
Back again, mate. I've just have you only just left, or have you?
No, I've just swapped my laptop sorted itself out, so I thought I'd jump back on it and get off the phone.
I was going to
He
say
can't get enough.
that's it. He's had to
He
join
wants extra.
7
He
times.
wants extra points. Extra points for joining and leaving.
Yeah.
Joining again.
Yeah. So that was for you, mate. So I think we're going
Cheers,
to pull
mate.
back into summer and
I think that's what I've got marked anyway, to be fair.
yeah.
So
Like I said, these are not entries, mate. They're just sort of like something I picked up on I think I was on a 10 or 5 minute and just they look like reasonable areas on that time frame. So
yeah.
everyone needs to sift through all this and pick something that's really nice looking, because it could come this low and tap into that. Obviously, there's a nice looking down and up sort of thing going on. Um, but yeah, a lot of price action to sift through there. But that is this pullback. I think is on the cards for this week, and then it should tap into something and then make a new overall high and continue the orange structure. So the orange structure is hopefully that's the low, and then it's going to make a new 15-minute high. And obviously, if we can catch that entry, one, say if it's that one, if we can catch it at 3 pips and whatever, looking at 100R plus, which would be nice. Just trying to make sure that that's right. Now, I wouldn't recommend. I mean, if we do catch it, so obviously a new 15-minute high, this high being taken would be the first target. Now we do have. I mean, I don't even know what time frame I'd call it, but we do kind of have maybe this as a structure going on. So we could do that still. Turn that blue so you can kind of see it. Yeah, so we are whatever's going on here, we are still making a bearish structure, but it would be nice to, like say, take the 15-minute high and then maybe take this high and then obviously put a new 4-hour high in overall. But with the information I've got beyond there would be taking that highs the preferred target, but with the information I've got going beyond this high is slightly on the riskier side unless there's a trend line that you can see that's telling you it's drawing it above. I don't see any trend line that makes me think that. I won't want it to be too steep anyway, but if there was, I mean, if there was a high, if there was something like that going on, I'll draw it as equal highs. If that was an equal high or whatever, and I would say, yeah, your TP could be above that high, but we haven't got that. So, yeah, beyond this would be risky because it could do the blue structure. That could be the next to play. Now, I think that's where, obviously, for everybody really, that's where thinking about that with certain structures going one direction and some another, or having different structures. It's just by looking at that, I've been able to say that taking this high is ideal. Beyond that's risky. So I'd like to think you could all mark the same sort of thing up and then just take that as where you think price is reasonable to hold to and or not. But yeah, a good buy setup's definitely a possibility right here. I'm going to clean some of that chart up. Is there any questions on that, guys?
Can we just go back to that 1 minute break? Because I'm I'm probably wrong, obviously, but I've already got it as played out.
So I've got it up here, mate.
which looks right.
Yeah.
I've got it.
You've got it
I've
this
got
one
it.
here.
No. Yeah, there. Sorry. Yeah, right at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't trade I took at all. It was my fault. That
Yeah.
was my break, and it has tagged some imbalance.
Yeah.
There is loads left below,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it has tagged some imbalance perfectly and then gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So it meets the rules for a 1 minute structure, mate. I can't say it's not.
I know
You
it
know?
is small and very
Yeah.
risky. I didn't trade it like it was just a mark.
Yeah. I mean, now obviously we all trade a little bit differently. Like we all see things very slightly, even though all use the same rules or whatever, we can still find things slightly different. So yes, I mean I won't say it's not valid. The only thing I would say with that is obviously if you'd have checked what this is tapped into to the left, and you was really happy that that was the only good looking imbalance in the 15-minute point of interest. If you was dead happy with it, like, and then decided you wanted to go real aggressive, and once it took that high, you was happy. There's no wrong with that. Like, you know, it's taking a high. It's the start of the move. It's low down. You know, if the 15's clearly broken structure, the 4 hour clearly has. It meets all the rules. You know,
Yeah.
it's ideal. The only difference is like I say, if it's filled a beautiful thing in here. I mean, and this looks like this sort of. I've got the POI to this overall low because that's technically the rules, but in reality, this is the order block that led to the 15-minute high being taken. Is at the bottom of this. There's a bit of messing around going on. Obviously, it takes the 1 minute high here to come back for that and then gone about doing the rest of its process and ticking through the structure breaks on the time frames. um, yeah, I mean, if you'd ever said to me I went aggressive, but it it tapped into this that was really nice and you was really happy, so be it, mate. It's not for me to say that it's wrong or anything. It's just
Okay. Okay.
this one's a bit more comfortable for me, but like I say, it might be wrong. You know, it might not come back. It's sometimes the case in it. You know.
I would never have picked the entry as goal, but it is tagged something
Yeah.
like that. But there's
Yeah.
plenty below it. And like you say, you picked the lowest one.
Um. Yeah. I mean, we can take a look at it, man. I'm not in a rush to get off or out, so. So if you went with that one, if you was looking at that one,
Mm.
see that one's spread out of that low, does it? Let me just.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. See.
See,
But we can
coming in on your
still
schlepping your spread hour,
slack in.
peddling this junk. 22.45.
So obviously at that point there is, if you was watching it at the time, you know, got it all marked up, your 1 minute break marked. It looks like you'd be here, wouldn't it? I'm guessing.
I think that's the one it has tapped.
Yeah. Shame that's not on show. Is that there? Mm.
It's quite juicy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, decent enough push down. Leads to the. I will know to get taken. Yeah, see, There's them two possibly still alive. I don't know. Yeah, that's yours is possibly spread out, mate, if that's all yours was. Yeah, I mean, it took it out anyway. Did it come back at all?
No, there's an entry a little further on.
Yeah.
Watch it come down again. It's lower than that spread hour wick. It's actually quite nice. Um, it taps into 1723 on the 1st of May.
I'll skip some. Yeah, taps it perfectly there, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the one I was on. It
Yeah, yeah,
was the spread out one, but obviously the spread out
yeah, yeah,
irrelevant.
yeah.
That's nice. But one of the tags is
Fucking fuming
very,
now.
very obvious.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why I thought, I think Mark's already
Yeah.
gone. But
Yeah.
like this trade currently, where it stands, I've got it marked for 90R. But again, I caught it 2 days late, I think, so I just marked it.
Yeah.
I would never have probably got that entry. There's loads below it.
Sorry about just bolloking the dog. Is
He
that
wants his steak.
yeah?
There's a mistake. I don't see anything below it as nice as the one that got tagged.
Yeah, yeah, no. Obviously, I'm out of that, but I don't, that was definitely the better looking one, I think. There's trend line liquidity there as well. Not well, not quite, but better at a distance.
I love it when I see things too late. It's great.
Yeah.
My
Hindsight
favourite
is
part.
wonderful.
Oh, it's
But
amazing.
like
You and me have
so
you
go on,
and
mate.
me have been killing the demo trading, Luke.
Yeah,
Oh no.
We've had an outstanding month on demo.
yeah. Yeah. So but I mean like it's the same thing. So obviously I've got that marked as my 1 minute. Obviously it's a big looking 1 minute. I mean it's what is that, 2 or 3 days, Wednesday and Friday, so it's a couple of days for a single leg. It's but I would say I would class yours as maybe my one sub 1 minute, you know. But if I wait to a higher time frame, because this is probably George's 15, so it's the same, but it's the same structure. So it's just level of aggression of how soon you want to get in and, you know.
That just might be early. It's probably still going to come down, tap somewhere, and go
Well,
again.
it's that was the point I was trying to make though. If I say that's my one, but it's actually the 15, obviously I've taken its colour. It's got to now that it's broken the high, it's going to come back for something, So it's just another opportunity to get in. But
Yeah, I've got it as 15.
yeah,
So the green boxes you were marking earlier, I've got as POIs.
yeah. I mean that yeah, yeah. The only reason I say that is now I struggle not struggle. I don't struggle. I was trying to think of the best way to word this. So I rarely come on my uh, computer. I pretty much do this Sunday Night Live on it, and then I'll maybe sometimes. Hades, shut the fuck up. Is so I'll look at this on with me PC, and sometimes I'll look at it on me when I do me majority of training. I look at it on my tablet, and I think, well, maybe that's actually maybe that is the 15 or whatever. So sometimes it changes depending on what device I'm on. So, but obviously, it's the process is the same. It's just say you Luke class that as a one, and I class that as my one at the minute. I might change it on my tablet, but the principle that once it takes a structured high, I'm definitely happy that is a structured high. Whether you name it 15 or one is up to you guys. But once it takes it, going back to tap into something. The same applies for the 4 hour, which is why they always structures always look like a zigzag kind of thing. So it's I feel like this is a good one here because this one tested the 1 minute high. failed, and then something goes on from here and then goes and does take it. So this one might be a good option. Fucking dog. Bear with me a sec. There you go. Told him. It's not that spread hour. Market close now. You know, that might technically be valid. It just depends on how the market close. If you trust that time, last 20 minutes or whatever. But that kind of lines up, which means that, like I say, that one might be a very good area to start looking. So basically, stick your house and kids and wife and car on it, lads. Basically, that's
Full
Already done.
port.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He said it was all right.
yeah, yeah,
It's not my fault, love.
yeah,
I'll give you his number. I know where he lives.
yeah, yeah. I'll have to do a disappearing act. I'll have several angry tradesmen coming after me soon. Right, I'll call it there anyway, guys. This was a good live again, I feel, so plenty of info.
You're missing
Yeah,
a
that was
trend
good.
line there. Hang on a minute.
Oh, hang on,
Start
let
from
me go back. No.
12th of May, 4:15. It's a bit higher.
Hang on.
You're nearly there.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, to the left a bit. 12th of May, 4:15. That high there. You've got a trend line down to the right there.
Down this. Oh, yeah, there.
Yeah. So I've got that marked as well. Yeah, it works if you get the high.
Yeah. And the.
No, for me, what am I on? I'm on 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as neat on yours.
I'll
Just
take
check.
it.
Yeah, it's neater on forex.com.
Yeah.
Just make your line thicker.
It's perfect on forex.com.
Make it fit.
I was going to say, I thought that was an equal low then, but it's not quite. Not quite. So, advice is look for liquidities anyway tomorrow.
Yeah.
Look for an entry zone in all of this.
I'm not convinced yet.
Yeah.
I wanna see something clearer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Up to
Oh,
you,
that's
boys.
going tomorrow.
Right, just read that last message. Thanks, Mega Mate. Yep, no worries, mate. I'll catch you all in the week. If there's anything, obviously reach out and just ask away, boys. I'll speak to you in a week.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks,
lads.
Cheers,
Take
all.
care,
Thanks.
guys.
Right.
Yeah.